Hello everybody, how's it going? That was kind of a bit of a rough transition there, wasn't it? Anyhoot, let me turn down this a little bit. There we go. There's my cat in the background, you guys can probably hear him. Anywho, oh, wait, that screen is actually frozen, look at that. Okay, anywho, at the core of it, this is the website. This is what we have completed so far. It does look slightly different on mobile. But as of yet, this is what we have. Obviously, more will be added. But at the base of it, this will be the site. And still trying to figure out some things in coding because I can code a little bit, and there are some things I still have yet to learn. However, I did take the opportunity to learn how to code because I didn't want a basic plug and play Wix website again, because in the years past, for those of you that have watched Sleighdar, or even when it was OST, I mean the websites were still good. It was just a plug and play through Wix, or I think the first website was through Weebly and stuff like that. So from there, this is kind of what we have, and I'll go more in depth throughout this entire live stream. It's not going to be super long, 15-20 minutes of your time. So obviously, the Sleighdar name represents sleigh and radar combined into one. Therefore, we wanted a radar style theme for the website. I do have another iteration of this website kind of in my pocket a little bit. It's a little bit more festive than this. Obviously, some festivity stuff will be added to this. It's just going to take me a little bit to get it there. However, I wanted to get this out so that we did have the website and nobody had to, and just another thing to put in the bio, people to check out. One thing I really would like to do with this website is once when we have Santa go on test flights and stuff like that, be able to track them live through the website. I think that would be a really nice touch. The bottom right hand corner below the countdown, you see the black blank space, and the main reason that that is there is mainly because once when it does become tracking time, that part is going to be used for next stop info, speed info, altitude data, all the bits of data that we've come to know and enjoy. Above that, you have the Sleighdar status that just shows the status of the Sleighdar. Above that, you also have the countdown. I do know on mobile, it's almost finally polished. It just making something that's a rectangle fit on a mobile screen and still look decent is very tough. It's something that I, as well as a few other people, have worked on. These aren't people who are officially in Sleighdar. However, they have been helping me out along the way, and I am grateful and I am appreciative for their help. Up here at the top, we have the play pause music. I'm going to play a little bit of the music. It is copyright free, so I've been in the works, for those of you who don't know, just to add more kind of stuff in here, I guess, because it's been a while since we talked. I've made music this past year. I actually released my own personal album well, I've released 2 albums now on Spotify. One of them, my name's Chase, for those of you who didn't know, but one of the titles is A Chasemas. It is a Christmas album. With that, it's more EDM kind of music that I enjoy to listen to. However, I do have some calmer kind of backbeats that I'm thinking of throwing in the website. So it will be music created by us. However, for now, just so it's there, it's a copyright-free song I found on YouTube, and it sounds like this. And then you can click the pause function, and the pause function pauses the music. Up above in the top middle, you see that we do have what I'm just choosing to call a beacon, the Santa beacon, that shows where the radar currently has Santa at, and currently he is at the North Pole at home base. Top left, you see Santa Sleigdar's countdown to the radar is online. Got a couple cool screens for once when the radar does go offline, but that'll happen when that happens. There'll be a tweet about that. I will not be triggering that into effect on the live stream. Down below you can see to my if I can, oh, that's great. Let's refresh the website, shall we? There we go. So down below here and kind of towards the bottom, in the middle, that should be, if I coded it correctly, that should be the local time of wherever you're at. So it's going to be different for everybody, different time zones and stuff like that. If it's not, you can always shoot us a message or anything like that. I don't really have ways to test this. Since I'm in one time zone, I know a few people in other time zones, so I guess I could kind of test it. Below that, you can click the applications button, apply here. Never been a better time to join the team, and you will be linked directly to the Google Forms. From here, you can just answer all the different questions and submit the application. Through January, I still do check this about every couple days, but after January, I probably won't be on this as much, and everything is streamlined and automated. So what I would recommend is if you do put in an application and you like what you see and you put one in, just shoot me a message through Discord or through Twitter or X. Other than that, you can click on the videos right here. That'll just take you to our YouTube channel, and you can go right to that. I'm trying to figure out a way if we can make Santa cams this year, which is a whole nother thing, like through the applications. If anybody has any 3D modeling experience and wants to join a team for fun, And you know, I am willing to pay a little bit to have some Santa cams made if you do want to join the team and make a little bit of money. However, through the videos aspect, the Santa cam, while on the big day when Santa's doing his route, the Santa cam would pop up there. Other than that, next to that, you also have Discord. You can join the Discord. You click it, join the chat. You can join the Discord, just like that. Trying to think about what else I had to talk here. Other things that we're planning on adding. We're going to add games to the website. Just figuring out a nice place for those to fit in. I guess, hang on. I think I could actually, if I pop this open, I don't think you guys should be able to see that, right? I don't think so. All right. I don't even remember which is which, to be honest here, because I have, for the past 2 years, I've had about 3 sites that I've slowly been coding this one, and then I've been coding this other one, and then I've been coding this other one. So, let me see. If we open this one, here's an idea right here. Does that pop up for you guys? Great, it does. Fantastic. This one is another idea. However, this is in the super rough aspect. The scroll bar at the top's in the incorrect spot, needs to be coded differently. We scroll down. This is basically a quick coding session. There's no texture on the earth on the slate position here, but whatever. We move. And there's just some other notes I wrote in here for myself, but live feed, this is where the YouTube channel would go. You scroll down. Discord would be here. This would be the application portal if I could link this realistically back to an email box somehow. See, I wrote to demo server. This would be the arcade. So these games are probably what's going to be put on the current Sleighdar site, except for they're still real touchy and they still need quite a bit of work. This is the the countdown, but that would have to be higher up. So we go here and you click start, and it's bare bones. There's no layers to this at all. It's just a circle and some blobs right now, but obviously when I put it on the current site, it's gonna be finalized. The thing I don't like about this is when you do this, you can spam space and just keep going. I don't like that. And so in the next iteration, it'll auto reset. So there's that. We'd be adding those games probably to this site. I'm thinking a a button in the bottom corner to go to the games. That's what I'm thinking right now. But yeah, I mean, this is the website. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great year. We got a lot planned. A lot planned. And it should be fun, pinpointing all these other things on the map and getting Sleigh to be in the right positioning and stuff like that. And I still haven't even 100% figured out that when it does come time, how are we going to start this? I mean, I'm learning coding, and this is what I got so far, but obviously to make your own your own personal tracker, there's a lot of work that goes into it. And especially with, like, right now the background is just a basic JPEG from, I believe, Wikipedia, if I recall correctly, just a basic flat outline of the map. I think I got it from Wikipedia. I can't remember now. It's been so long, so don't quote me on that. However, it's not, in order to get Santa to show in regular spots, you kind of have to pinpoint on, the X and Y axis of said, basically, background of where you want the beacon to show up. And I would have to do that for every single stop. And one of the big things, I've always wanted to have a tracker that has more stops than NORAD and Google. And that's going to be a little difficult. And then also figuring out, one thing I need to add to the map still is a zoom function. So you can zoom in on the map without losing quality or anything like that. That one, I'm going to have to learn how to input what's known as a leaflet map. So that's going to take me some time to learn. But as of right now, it's just a standard basic JPEG. But I do intend and plan by the end of the year, it's going to be a leaflet map. So you should be able to zoom in, and towns, countries, cities will all show up. and you can zoom into the map and find whatever you want. But like I was saying, that does take a leaflet map to do, and I'm still learning that aspect of coding. JPEG's a lot easier to code in than a leaflet map from what I've been reading so far. Music, the play and pause button will change within the next few iterations of the website. I plan to probably make that its own button at the bottom, or maybe even just keep it up there, but make it a smaller button. And that'll be a small, like, music, what would you call it, catalog, library, nice little music catalog or library, and that will be good. So then you can just choose whatever music you like. And one thing I was telling myself to make sure to say during this live stream is, if anybody has any ideas that they think that should be added to the site, you can text me on the Discord, or message me on the Discord, I should say, or message me on X, message me anywhere. I'm always open to ideas of things that we think should be added to the map. I want this to be a very community-centered project, rather than it's just, one team doing it. I want this to be a very community-based project. And I think that with the help of a lot of people, and with the people that have helped out so far, I think we could really, really nail this project and make it really nice. So yeah, I mean, in the background, the last 2 years, this is kind of what we've been working on. I mean, this website alone right now stands alone at about 1,000 lines of code, I believe. It's about 1,000 lines of code, and probably many, many more to add. I think by the time we hit tracking time by the end of this year, we'll probably be sitting around 2,000 to 3,000 lines of code, especially now that I've gotten better with coding and I've done more and more kind of iterations of the site and things I want to see switched. But everything, it just comes with time. It comes with time, and with my break that I've kind of taken, this is what I've done, and I enjoy doing it, and that's why I do keep coming back. I think the consistency aspect of it's a little bit difficult, because when you're running everything as a one-man show, it's a little bit difficult. But I think as a one-man show right now, with the few people that we have helping us on the side, but they don't, what would be the best place, or best part to say? I'd say they don't affiliate themselves with Sleighdar. They're not officially part of the team. I've tried to get them to join the team. They're just, I don't know if I want to dedicate all that time to one project. These are people who want to just put little bits of time into many projects, which I completely understand. However, this is what we got so far, and the map will be a little bit more dressed up next time I make a stream. I'm planning on doing a stream maybe in March or April with updates. Till then, you might see some slight changes to the website if you go back and you just keep rechecking. From time to time, periodically, you'll probably see a few small changes. But the big iterations and the big changes that we're making to the site, I'm going to do a special live stream for, rather than just a basic tweet. So in addition to that, there'll be the basic tweet plus a live stream with a kind of in-depth version of, well, we did this, and this is why we wanted to do this, and yada yada. However, I think at the core of it, I do like this website. I think it's very good, and I think there's a lot of work to still be done, and I'm excited for all the work that we need to get doing on this. But at the core of it, it is a functional website that you can use, you can mess around with, you can do just a bunch of stuff with. And I'm super glad that that people who watch this and are going to watch this later see the site and give me some constructive criticism. I would greatly appreciate that. And like I was saying, I want this to be a community-based project, so then we can really just kind of nail it. Other than that, like I was saying earlier, kind of in this live stream, oh, there goes the kitty again. But if you want to see anything added to the website, or if you have any ideas at all, please do not hesitate to reach out on X or Discord or anything of that nature. Always open to new ideas and stuff like that. So this is kind of what I've built so far, with the help of a few people, of course. And I think I talked about everything that I want to add. I think maybe come the plan that's in the dome right now is July 25th, Christmas in July. We're gonna do a small trial run of a route. I think that's gonna be the first time that we really utilize the capabilities of this, and I think by then it's gonna be great. Um, Also, one thing I was gonna plan on saying on this is there might be some times where this changes. You know, I'm always coming up with different ideas, and I've already scratched two sites, like the one I was showing you. Oh, I haven't completely scratched that. However, it's that one's already at. I think it's close to 2,000 lines of code, and that's just too much. And by the time everything would be finalized and doing auto resets for the games and taking out some text, adding in links, adding in everything I want with that site, wouldn't be shocked if the code would be close to 8,000 lines of code. I think the sweet spot is like 4, and that's completely finished with a route on either X and Y axes for using this background for the radar, or utilizing a leaflet. Leaflet gets a little tough, adds a few more lines of code per stop. But man, the plan is in July we'll really test run this, and we'll do I don't know, a couple hour run at least. I'm gonna try to push for 6 and put my head down and get that ready. Um, but yeah, at the core of it, this is the site. I'm not really sure what else to say. It's been a while since we've chatted, but I don't stream that often. I did a little practice stream earlier in December of last year, and I was like, yeah, this isn't gonna work with everything going on. Just did not have enough time to utilize and put everything together. So that's what I'm doing this year, as I'm trying to start very, very early on, get the core of the projects that I've been working on just out, dump a bunch of time into them, and with the work schedule I work currently, I get given the opportunity that I can do that. And very soon that schedule will change, so there'll be a little bit less time to do things like this. But at the core of it, website's up. Any major changes, whether it goes to a complete redesign, reskin of the site, live stream will be done for that. Any major changes? Yep, small changes like, hey, we added this to the web, like a basic thing like the music library idea. I probably won't be making a live stream for that. I will just write out a tweet and be like, hey, to the website, we added some more music, yada, yada, yada. But for those of you that have been watching and are watching wherever, honestly, who knows? And those of you who will go back and rewatch this in the future and see where it started, where it's going, and possibly by the end of this year where it finishes. I appreciate you all. I thank you all for watching. And I think at the core of it, we're going to call that it. I thank you all for being here. The site, one thing I was going a little more detail on, is the site is actually officially now mobile optimized. Took me took me like 3 hours late last night to get this finally. I thought it was going to take all of today too. That's why I said the site's going to release on the 13th rather than today. But took me a little bit to get it fully optimized. I was just trying to figure out what would be the best way, and the best way was basically the map and radar in its own kind of little box rather than stretching and fitting the screen. And I don't know why it took me forever to come up with that idea, but I finally did come up with that idea late last night and just put the boot down and got it done. So, but like I was just saying, with the exception of that, thank you guys so much for being here. If there's anything you guys want to see on the site or anything like that, don't be afraid to reach out on X or Discord. Like I said, one of the best times to join the team is now. Get in early. Let's build just a great community, and let's hit this year strong. You know, the goal for this year, I want to have a couple members. I know it's kind of tough to get people. It's always being a smaller team. It's a little tough to get people to join in and buy into the idea, but I think this is going to be a good help. People can see this and go, oh yeah, I do like what's being built, and I want to be a part of it. So yeah, hopefully you guys see it and you want to be a part of it. If you want to be a part of it, submit an application. Um, Send me a message on X or Discord after you do, just so I know I can go back and look at it. So, with that being said, well, actually, I'm going to talk for one more minute so we can hit an even 30 minutes on this broadcast. So, what should we talk about for like a solid minute? But yeah, I want to do more live streams. I think come obviously later in the year, we are very, very, very early on, and that's kind of why I just put the head down and just got this done out of the way. I probably wrote a couple hundred lines of code last night, stayed up quite late, and just got it done. So that was the nice thing about it, is just putting the head down, getting it done, working on it, and yeah. Now we have 20 seconds left in that time to talk about whatever. But I thank you all for being here. Um, Join the Discord, join the team, all the fun stuff. There'll be more to come soon. But yeah, any major update, keep checking the X. That's what we tend to post on the most. We don't really have much other social medias. But I thank you guys for being here. We finally reached the over 30-minute mark for the stream. But yeah, more music to be added, a couple more features and stuff like that. And also maybe even possibly, if we mess around enough, a complete redesign, reskin of the site. But I hope you guys like what we have so far and you like kind of where the project's going and stuff like that. I'm excited for this year. I'm really just dumping a bunch of time and effort into this year. I want to make this a really, really great year. Like 2 years ago, my main goal, and I never did ever do a complete full stream. It was always kind of like tweets, half stream kind of thing. And I never really did do a full stream until 2 years ago. And I put my head down. I did a full stream. I wasn't on the whole time, but I did 4 parts, all that kind of stuff. Very fun to go back and rewatch. That's going to be the plan this year, I hope. I'm not sure. 100%. I would like to get a few more team members before we really start diving into what's going to be the live stream capabilities this year. But obviously more to come. More to come soon. The next live stream is going to be in July. We'll say July 25th, Christmas in July. So that's where more big updates will come. I thank you all for being fans of Sleighdar and looking at the project and taking your time to really look at it. Other than that, keep checking the X for updates, Discord for updates as well. I'm starting to put more stuff in there. I just tend to post a little bit less in there since it's not as open to a wider range of audience to see the updates that we've been working on. However, if you do join the team, special access within the Discord to team member only servers. But other than that, I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you so much for watching this. And I'm Chase, and I will see you guys in July.